There we go. That should give us audio now. Well, hello. We are watching a live stream of a tiny little asteroid zooming past the Earth. Now I just have to, in the time it took me to set up the stream, we've actually moved way from the center of the screen way off to the side. So I'm just going to bump the telescope over a little bit and we'll be able to watch this thing moving along. Let's just see where it is now. I'm going to pop over to Stellarium, which is the program that I'm using to track things, and actually we'll just recenter ourselves. Oh wow, it's moved a whole field of view in the last couple of minutes. So we're just recentering the telescope now, and let's see if we can see. Well, that was just a satellite going through the field of view there. Nothing to watch. Now we're taking exposures every half second here, so you're seeing a little bit of flickering. Each flicker is a new exposure, and let's just make sure that we're actually centered in the appropriate spot. Yeah, okay, so we're centered in the right spot. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just take a slightly longer exposure here just so we get a sense of where it is, because it'll show up as a little streak, I think. I was watching it move and it moves so quickly that it was quite a challenge to keep it in the field of view, but now I'm having trouble seeing it. I have reports from my partner at the Borderlands Observatory. He lives quite a bit closer to it, that there is some smoke and fog in the sky, and so that's interfering a little bit, but we should be able to see this thing. And maybe I'm just not looking at the right dot moving along, but from exposure to exposure it should move, and it was moving from left to right. So let's see if we can see exactly what we should be seeing here. This is the view in Stellarium, and I just downloaded the appropriate orbital elements. Let's make sure that this is all lined up properly too. Okay, so if we look in there, there should be kind of a bright triangle of stars. I literally was watching it move, and it was very obvious to the unaided eye that it was moving. And now I'm not finding it is easy to spot. Maybe it will be easier with a shorter exposure. Is that it down there? Let's do another center on the telescope, and then we'll plate solve so that we should have it right in the very center of the field of view. Yeah, that is it. Okay. I'll just do a plate solve to be sure here. So this little object, 2026 KT2, is only between 50 and 100 meters across, which means that it will be the smallest object that I've ever imaged with my telescope out in space. Because usually, oh, there's another satellite going through. Because usually asteroids are a few kilometers across for us to be able to see them. Oh yeah, you can see some haze blowing through the field there. Yeah, so we are, it was nice and clear when I got it going, and then in the time it's taken to set up the stream and so on, it looks like it's the weather is not doing very well. So that's interfering a little bit. I'm going to keep trying to look for it here, though, because like I say, I did see it moving before. So in the time, here we're watching the real-time orbital elements on Stellarium, and it's moving, we were centered in the little yellow circle, and it's already moved that far in the field of view. So this thing is cooking along. You can see it move second by second. Usually to see an asteroid move, you have to wait 10-15 minutes to even notice a slight change. But this is pretty obvious. Now let me see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, even more. Trying to fit everything into the window of the scope here. I guess I should just check in here and see who is around with us. So this is a view through my, it's an 8-inch telescope with a ZWO camera. It's an ASI 294 camera, which is a specialized astronomy camera that I use for my science observations. And it lives at Borderlands Observatory, which is, as the name suggests, right down near the American border. And it is a great little spot to do all sorts of science. See if I can zoom in here a little bit. We're going to recenter, and then we're going to see if we can spot this little guy. So when it was a little bit clearer, I was looking and you could literally see the thing moving minute by minute or second by second. And I'm not quite sure why that isn't the case now. There might be a little bit of parallax happening, but let's see. You know what? Let's just take a little bit of a longer exposure here. See what the longer exposure shows. Maybe it'll show as a little trail. We'll be able to spot which one it is. So the word asteroid actually means star-like, and that's the problem with these things. They just look like stars, and the only way you notice anything about them is if they have moved. Yeah, I'm still not seeing any object moving in this field. It also doesn't feel like it's quite showing the same view that I'd see in the stellarium view. So let's just move a bit. Oh, there's another satellite and some trails because I moved the telescope. That's not anything. But let's see here. Yeah, and you can see some haze there in the changing background. Okay, so we'll recenter again. Okay, I'm going to do a little flip here because I think, there we go, that should match the stellarium view a little bit better. Yeah, those 3 stars there are the 3 we can see in the field. These 3 here, so it should be in here somewhere, moving pretty much straight up towards the top. We'll add a little bit more detail to our star map here, see if we can pick it out. It's about 14th magnitude, so about as bright as Pluto, but I should still be able to see that quite easily with the 8-inch telescope. I've done video frame rates like 30 frames a second down to about almost 13th magnitude. So using the longer exposure should definitely work. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, the haze is really blowing in. So it should be right in about there, but we're not really seeing it. Well, I'm going to crank up the gain a little bit and the exposure time. We'll see what we can find. It's probably going to be too much. Okay, we'll zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to have to go to some longer exposures because it's just not showing up. Oh yeah. Yeah, the weather is getting a little worse out at my remote observatory at Borderlands, so you can see it there in the clouds in the screen. Okay, well, I'm going to pause the stream. I'll do a little bit of troubleshooting here to see if I can track this thing down and get it in the frame and make sure we can see it properly. If I can, then I'll bring back the stream. But if not, we'll we'll have to chalk it up to the clouds. And apparently there's quite a bit of smoke down in the Borderlands region right now. 'Tis the season for burning fields and stuff, I guess. So hopefully we'll be back in a little bit. But if not, we'll try again tomorrow night where maybe we'll get some better clear skies.